Hi there, welcome back to Algebra 1. This is lesson 2 of this playlist. There's 4 lessons, as you can see, and we are on lesson 2 here. If you've not watched lesson 1, maybe better go back to lesson 1, and there's 3 and 4 to come. So this is on simplifying terms and when multiplying, so let's get started. Okay, so this is just a start. This is just a revision of lesson 1 when we added and subtracted like terms. So please pause the video and please do this for me. I'm going to flash up the answers in one little second. Okay guys, hope you got that. So here is the answers for the addition pyramid involving algebra. Okay, so just correct your work, pause it now, and I'm going to move on. Okay, multiplying in algebra. So when I look at these apples here, I've got 1, 2, 3 apples, and you could say that in words like 3 lots of apples. Now, lots of in maths again means to multiply. So 3 lots of apples is the same as saying 3 multiplied by A. In algebra, when we're multiplying, we do not have to say or write the multiplication sign. We can just write 3A instead. So 3 multiplied by A is the same as 3A, and vice versa. When you see 3A, you'll know it means 3 multiplied by A. So similarly, these ones at the bottom here, so we've got 2 multiplied by A, just give you the answer, which is equal to 2A. And the next one, 4 multiplied by A, which equal to 4A. Okay, let's move on. How do we simplify A multiplied by B? So similar to the last slide, even though there's not a number in there, A multiplied by B, you do not have to write the multiplication sign with algebra, so you would just write AB, and you need to know that AB is the same as A multiplied by B. Next one, A multiplied by B multiplied by C would be written like A, B, C. Next one, if I had the following expression, I need to consider the numbers first. So the numbers are always written first. So if I consider them like terms, but you're multiplying this time, so 2 multiplied by 3 is 6, and 6 multiplied by A is 6A. When you become confident, you just go straight to that answer there. Okay, these ones here. So start with this one here. 2 multiplied by T is 2T. M multiplied by T is MT, or you can write TM. Doesn't matter. Think about multiplying numbers. If you did 2 times 3, which is 6, that's the same as 3 times 2, which is still 6. So it doesn't really matter the order of these ones here. Okay. Next one. So we've got 2T multiplied by 6. So consider the numbers first. What's 2 multiplied by 6? It's 12. So what's 2T multiplied by 6? Must be 12T. This one down here. Let's look at the numbers first. So we've got 3 multiplied by 5, which is 15. And then your 15 is multiplying by your M and your Y. But think about up here, when you were doing your M times your T, what did that give you? So your answer is 15 MY. This one now, let's look at the numbers first. So with 3 multiplied by 2, which is 6, and Y multiplied by K, which we know we can write as YK. We don't have to write the multiplication sign in between. So it's going to be 6 YK as your final answer. Okay, let's move on. Okay, my turn, your turn, similar to lesson 1. So I'm going to do my side, and then I want you to pause it and do your side, and then I'm going to flash up the answers. So A times B is just AB, we've been over that. 2 times 4 times B is HB. 6 times p, or 6 multiplied by p multiplied by 5. Now I know I switch between multiply and times. I don't know which word you prefer. We can try and use multiply. So 6 multiplied by p multiplied by 5 is 30p. And then this one down here, 8 multiplied by p multiplied by q multiplied by r. Now 8 is the only number here, so it's just going to be 8p q r with no multiplication sign in the middle. Okay, your turn, guys. Okay, I've just flashed up the answers to your turn, the ones on the right hand side, so just mark your work, pause it now. I'm going to move on. Okay, so just a wee reminder of indices and indice rules. So if we look up at the right hand side here, this blue box, look here. So 3 multiplied by 3 can be written, it's the exact same as 3 squared. We know that 3 squared means 3 multiplied by 3. Okay, this is index form. The next one, we've got 2 multiplied by 2, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 2. There's 5 2's there multiplying by each other. That can be written as 2 to the power of 5. Okay, now the way you deal with numbers is the same way you're going to deal with these variables here, or these letters. So if we look at the right hand side, 6 times 6 times 6, I'm not asking for the answer, I'm asking for it written in index notation, so with a power. So that would be the same as 6 to the power of 3. The next one, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 would be 2 to the power of 4. Next one, 4 to the power of 6. Next one, now there's 2 different numbers here, so we'll deal with the 3's and then we'll deal with the 7's. So 3 times 3 is the same as 3 squared, multiplied by, and 7 multiplied by 7 is 7 squared. And that's how you would leave it. Next one, be 4 cubed, multiplied by 5 squared. Next one would be, right underneath, 8 to the power of 4, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 5 squared. Now, every number has a power, so you can see that 2 there. I've not wrote any number beside it, no number in the power box, but every number really has a power of 1, but we don't write it. So that really has a power of 1 there, but we don't write it if it's got a power of 1. So it just means the same thing. And the last one here on the left hand side would be 4 cubed multiplied by 7 cubed. So I've just applied the same thing to your variables on the right hand side. So your y times y would be y cubed, be p to the power of 4, be q to the power of 6, z squared times w squared. Now again, you can write that without the multiplication in the middle of it. So you could write it like z squared w squared. Next one, so going with that, we're going to write r cubed g squared. Remember, you don't have to write that multiplication in the middle, but that multiplication is there. It means r cubed multiplied by g squared, which means r times r, sorry, r multiplied by r multiplied by r multiplied by g multiplied by g. Next one, n to the power of 4 multiplied by d multiplied by h squared. And this last one on the right hand side, we've got h cubed m cubed. You don't have to write the multiplication sign in between. Okay, let's move on. Just clear this. Okay, let's consider these questions here. So what does p squared mean? P squared means p multiplied by p. And then you're multiplied by p cubed. What does p cubed mean? It means p multiplied by p multiplied by p. So what is that answer? It is in fact p to the power of 5. Now what relationship can you see between the powers here, the powers in the question, and the powers in the answer? What are you doing with those powers in the question? What are you doing with the powers in the answer? I'll do one more and then you can see if you can see the relationship. So this one here, p to the power of 4 means p times p times p times p. Multiplied, so I'm going to try to use the word multiply to the times, and then multiplied by p to the power of 5 is p multiplied by p multiplied by p multiplied by p multiplied by p. And what's the answer? P to the power of 9. So again, I circle the powers in the question and the powers in the answer. What is the relationship between them? You should see if you add together the powers in the question. So if I add, put a big add sign in here, 2 add 3 gives you the answer 5. And here, 4 add 5 gives you the answer 9. So this is one of the index rules. So just cover this up here. If you've got a to the power of m multiplied by a to the power of n, it's the exact same as equal to a to the power of m add n. Okay, so that should help us with the next questions on the right hand side. So deal with the numbers first. So we've got 3 times 2, which is 6, and then we're going to use that rule there to simplify p cubed multiplied by p to the power of 6. So I am going to add these powers here. So my answer is going to be 6p to the power of 3 add 6 is 9. Let's try this next one here. Do your numbers first. 5 multiplied by 7 is 35. Look at this p squared and then look at this p. Now remember I said earlier when a number is written or a variable on its own is written, it really has a power of 1. So if I put this power of 1 in, and then I think about the rule we've just chatted about, I add these powers together. What is your answer? So your 35 is already there, and it's going to be p to the power of 3, because 2 add 1 is 3. Okay, let's move on. Here's another 4 questions. So we've got 2. I'm just going to do these quite quickly because I think you're getting the general idea. 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. We've got, we'll underline them different colours when dealing with them. We're going to deal with the p's next. We've got p squared multiplied by p. Remember this has a power of 1. So if I add this power of 2 and this power of 1 together, I get the number 3. So it would be p cubed, or p to the power of 3. And then I'm going to look at the q's. So we'll give it a q here, multiplied by a q cubed. Again, this has got a power of 3. This one doesn't look like it's got a power, but it's got a power of 1. Add them together and you get q to the power of 4. I'm going to go down to this one here now. So you've only got one number there. When I look at the coefficient means the number in front of these variables. So there's no number written in front of the p or the q. There's really a number, again, there's really a number 1 there, but it makes no difference to my answer. If I look at 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 4, it's still going to give me the answer 4. So you're going to start with 4, then you're going to look at your p's next. So I've got p to the power of 4, and then there's another p here, multiplied by another p, which would give me p to the power of 5. And then let's look at the q's. I've got q to the power of 5, and then multiplied by another q, remember, which is a power of 1. So it gives me q to the power of 6. Let's move on. Actually, you can try the ones on the right hand side. Just pause it please for me, and then I'm going to flash up the answers. Okay, hope you got these ones right. I've flashed up the answers to the two on the right hand side. Just mark your work, we're going to move on. Okay, so let's do the ones on the left hand side. So this one would be 6ym or my. This one would be 18z cubed. Be 6p to the power of 5. Be 16q cubed. 4z squared. And 2h squared y. Right hand side be 3h squared z squared. It would be h squared g squared. Be 6q r to the power of 6. Be 24h to the power of 7. Y to the power of 2, or y squared. And z to the power of 6. Next one. Sorry, this is quite a big answer here. So 7 times 3 times 2 times a is 336. And then I've got a cubed. I've got b cubed. And I've got c squared. This last one here. So 11 times 2 is 22 times 3, so 66. And then it's a to the power of 4. B, just deal with each one separately. B to the power of 5. And C to the power of 4. That's us. That's us finished, guys. This is just your exit question. So please try this question now and send me a message with the answer. Good luck and thanks for watching.